Thanks, Jake. Round 9 it is at TIO Stadium as we're about to get underway with Sturzaker and Smith in the ruck. Smith wins that tap. St Mary's with an early clearance inside 50. Francis Kantari flies. Edwards with the fist. See, with the numbers on the wing as they move it quickly. True Tiwi style. Nice little chiseler over the top. Play on, drops the mark. Brilliant run down there and holding the ball. Andrew Hodges, welcome, mate.
Welcome, boys. Yeah, no, good start. Obviously, quickly inside 50, St Mary's, but we just saw there Tiwi Bombers. We've seen the last couple of weeks an ability to bring the ball to ground and that quick rebound off half-back. So, going to be a danger for Saints today if they don't get inside 50 and score. If they allow them to rebound, it's going to be pretty dangerous. So, but you'd think this will go through for a goal, boys.
Austin Wanamiri on the approach, 50 out, kick underway, looks pretty good, although doesn't have the legs, and it's fisted over for a boundary. Throwing Jake, what was the weather doing downstairs?
Mate, it's extremely hot down there, I can tell you that for free. Very hot and very humid as well. It's going to be pretty tricky conditions out there, although we've had dry weather so far today, so it's not slippery yet. Maybe a storm this afternoon, but yes, it's very sticky out there for the boys.
Smith with the handball over the top. St Mary's looking to clear out of their defensive 50. Edwards with the kick, but it's all Tiwi back here. Big Tommy McNamara in for Tiwi today. He looks to move it into the middle. Nice kick. Mark dropped in the middle there. So Tiwi doing all the attacking early with a nice little chiseler, and here's Austin Miri again.
Great transition of play there. You see Tommy McNamara on this side of the ground.
Sorry, Tipper Moody.
Got the ball to the far side of the ground. I really opened the ground up for Tiwi and got over that fat side. So again, we're getting to see another shot on goal, and difficult angle, but I'd say a bit of fair chance from here as well.
He actually kicked one from here a week or so ago, Albert Tipper Moody.
And he's done the same here, Jakey boy. You've called it. Tiwi off to a fly here at TIO Stadium. Tiwi 1 goal straight, 6. St Mary's yet to score.
Yeah, it's been a very promising start from the Bombers so far. Definitely had the better of the running. They've hit the majority of their targets. The men in the middle are competing with that solid St Mary's middle as well. So it's exactly the start that Brenton Toy would have liked. For Rick Nolan, well, he would have been pretty frustrated by Keenan Smith-Thompson there, and that lacklustre approach that gave Aussie Wanamiri that shot at goal earlier. Just haven't quite switched on yet, St Mary's, but when you've got the likes of Iggy Vallejo, Raf Clark, Peter McFarlane in your side, Luke Barth as well, I think that'll be rectified pretty quickly.
So back in the middle, Smith with a nice tap. And a Paredes. He's locked up. Gets out of it, stands up, gets a handball out. And we're going to have a throw up.
For a team that's got a lot of good midfielders, St Mary's, Nate Paredes makes such a difference to the side. That sort of shorter bulldog-like player. They've got some very crafty midfielders, but Nate Paredes makes a massive difference to this side.
So St Mary's with an inside 50. Raf Clark sits underneath, but a good mark taken down there. Ball in dispute. Rioli hovering over the ball. We've got to push in the back. Umpire says play on. Scrappy kick down there, but it might work here for Munkara with a nice ball over the top.
Probably been my choice of player of the season so far, Dion Munkara. Doesn't get the accolades that some other players do, but geez, he's been fantastic. And that's gone through for a goal. What a great goal. Just turned on, sort of on a dime there, was Gary Purantatamiri. And much like last week, he sort of turned something out of nothing. We saw the double bicycle from him last week. Now he's just spun on a dime and put the second one through for the Tiwi Bombers.
You can see here, boys, every time Saints have gone inside 50, Tiwi not renowned for their height, but they've been able to, one, take a mark, an aerial mark, or get the ball to ground to allow their runners to run the ball. You see Dion Munkara just worried Benny out of it there, and just their foot skill. Well, that one they're not great, but this one here just amazing.
Look at the pick up and the kick though from Dion Munkara.
Yeah,
I was just saying just before that kick, he's probably been my favourite player to watch this season, and doesn't get the accolades of a lot of other crafty wings and backmen. But geez, he's a great player. We saw some of the great things that he did last week as well. Such a classy player and makes such a difference to the Bombers side.
So ball in dispute in the middle here. It's been all Tiwi so far in the early stages of this game. Good pick up there from Francis Kandari. Here's an opportunity for St Mary's to go forward with a nice kick. Here's Musgrove. He's looking, weighing up options. Ryan Smith burning down for a big man. He's got the sit. He drops the mark. Numbers there for St Mary's though. Good smother. So here's St Mary's again. Nice kick over the top and finds the target in Labastida.
Yeah, clean cut Luke Barth there. We haven't seen too many games from him so far this season, but yeah, lovely little kick there. He's obviously lost the big head of hair, and it's helped him out so far.
Just the last two inside 50s, boy. You just saw St Mary's decision making a little bit better, taking 2 marks. Jack Musgrove first, and now Henry Labastida here. So they're going to need to do that if they're going to be successful today.
So Labastida. The tight angle, gettable though for this unit as it kicks underway and it's off to the right. So St Mary's get on the board. They're one behind Tiwi, 2 goals straight, 6 minutes played in the first quarter.
Great out there from Paddy Heenan, just getting Tiwi going straight up on that forward momentum. So important when you can get out of your own end like that. It doesn't give St Mary's to keep that forward pressure. And look at that, they're all of a sudden down into their own forward half. A great way there from Tiwi Bombers.
So Rioli with a nice handball over the top. Here's Francis Kandari, back to Rioli. Nice build up here from St Mary's as we inside 50. Good spoil over the top. Here's Musgrove, danced around a few, should be pinged and is. So good pressure here from Tiwi.
Yeah, Danny Musgrove just tried to do a little bit too much with it there, didn't he? Probably had a few options that he could have gone forward for, but Dion Munkara, again, beautiful work, gets a 52, gives Sean Edwards a little pat on the butt and says, thanks very much, my friend. I'll take that 50 metres down the road. Again, Dion Munkara just causing some matchup nightmares. Sean Edwards, obviously a great player, a lot of experience, but when you're on, you're on, and Dion Munkara is certainly on at the moment, and will kick this one from around about the 50-metre line after his run-up.
So Dion Munkara on the approach, kick underway, looks good off the boot. He's off to a flyer.
Right through the middle, Dion Munkara.
Tiwi's off to a flyer here at TIO, 3 straight 18. St Mary's just the one behind. Hodgie.
Yeah, been a very impressive start, hasn't it, boys? Obviously, their ability to put pressure on the ball carrier for St Mary's has been a highlight so far, but their ball skills, the way they use the footy by feet, has been very impressive, and it's set up all of those opportunities that they've had so far. And their defenders, like I said before, not renowned for being tall players, but they just find a way to get the ball to ground and give a chance to their running brigade. Mosquito Fleet, I suppose you want to call them off half back, and they use the ball very well off that half back.
So Raf Clark into the middle here, wins the tap down, but to no one. Now here he is with the clearance inside 50s. McFarlane sits underneath it. He drops it. Musgrove with the snap over the top, but it's all Tiwi again. Impuran Tadamiri. He puts a nice kick outside. Musgrove gets wrapped up. Umpire says play on. Here's Joshy Heath with a nice handball. Back to Musgrove. Tries to dance around, cops one high and wins the free kick.
Yeah, good courage there from Mitchy Musgrove, and nice sportsmanship from Paddy Heenan as well, who came and gave him a pat and said sorry about that one. But yeah, good courage there from Mitch Musgrove, the young fella.
Here's Rioli with the hands. Here's Joshy Heath with a shot on goal. It's off to the left. McFarlane sits underneath. Francis Kandari hovering around there. Good snap on goal, and it's through Musgrove. Good goal. St Mary's need much needed goal here. They moved to 1-1-7, Tiwi, 3 goals straight.
Yeah, you can see the experience of Peter McFarlane there. This is our first look at him in the coverage after he's come out of retirement 2 weeks ago, kicked 12 goals. But you can see the experience of him here as the ball flies in. Doesn't get the mark, but just taps it down. You can see Josh Heath gets a nice kick into the danger zone. McFarlane attacks the ball from the backside, but then just taps it down. Knew he wasn't going to get both hands to it, but smartly got it to that contest where the Scavengers managed to pick it up, and Jas Musgrove's done a great job.
He's been in good form too, boys, the last few weeks, Jackie Musgrove. So good to see him open his account today.
So back in the middle, Raf Clark with the tap down, but it's all Tiwi as they look to reload back inside 50. Kick misses a target. Ball in dispute. St Mary's away. Nice little tap here. Here's Mikey Coombs. One of the quickest units getting around with a nice kick, although it's just over the head.
Yeah, it seems like Mikey Coombs has been around for a long time. He's 21 years old. He had his birthday a week or so ago, and I couldn't believe when I heard he was 21. Definitely has the body form of a much older man, and the experience as well.
So good kick. Here's Musgrove again. Francis Kandari with the hands over the top. Here's Peter McFarlane. He's going to open his account too. He gets his first. St Mary's get their second.
Yeah, some lovely hands there by Henry Labastida, just really sort of started something out of nothing there, and Kinthari played his part as well. McFarlane gets his first of the afternoon, and we're in for a real game here, I think, fellas. 5 goals in, only 11 minutes of football. It's a great sign. After a couple of lower scoring weeks, I feel like we might be in for something special here today. Always
a bit of a shootout when you play the Tiwi Bombers. It's interesting to see, boys, St Mary's, when they go forward, if they don't penetrate deep inside 50, Tiwi are rebounding quite easily. If Saints are getting past that sort of 30-metre zone, they're scoring quite easily. So that's going to be the key for them today, to get it in nice and deep.
So here we go with Tiwi. Inside 50 yet again. Murtry down there.
Turning back the clock, puts it on the left foot. That is a goal. Aussie Wanamiri. How good was that? Some very smooth hands, and then just straight through, easy as you like. He's like, I've done this in the AFL. I've done it all around the country. Here you go, fellas. Have a look at this. That's a great goal from Aussie Wanamiri, and against the run of play too. Great work.
It's interesting to see Saints have had that dominance at centre square bounces, and Tiwi have had the last 2 clearances that the first one just earlier didn't score from, but this one here definitely off a mistake. Aussie Wanamiri in the right spot at the right time, and a very, very good finish.
What you can certainly see from the Bombers so far today, as well, is that they're going about 50-50 with St Mary's in these centre bounces, as well as they get another one out there as well. Something that St Mary's are really well known for winning those contests, but the Bombers certainly going with them so far today.
So ball in dispute here. It's an up back for St Mary's. They clear the ball. Nice little tap down there, although it goes straight to St Mary's player. Here's Raf Clark looking for his first of the day.
Needs a bounce, and it goes just to the left of the post. And had a look, thought about bounce to the right, went slightly to the left. Again, Tiwi Bombers wasting no time as they try and get out of their own end here. And do it pretty easily again. I'm not sure if Rick Nolan, I'll have a little bit of a look at the setup next time. I think they're just doing it a bit too quick for St Mary's at the moment, but they're getting out very easily for their 2 efforts so far.
Yeah, good grab down there.
Yeah, Brad Palapamini, beautiful hands.
So ball in dispute over there. Francis Kanthari hovering again. Rioli with a nice little handball. Here's the big Smith. He just sort of throws it on the boot into space. Here's McFarlane in pursuit of Buruntatamiri. Buruntatamiri does well here.
It's probably the times where Peter McFarlane wondered why he came out of retirement when he's chasing Jason Buruntatamiri around.
I don't reckon that was part of the deal when he came out of retirement, to be chasing him around.
Yeah. So he'll take the goals in the goal square where he just has to turn around and put it through the sticks, but I don't think he'll take those ones where he's running across the half-forward line. Nate Paredes does well here. Centres it beautifully. Geordie Cullen there, unmarked with plenty of time and took it on the chest. Lovely work from Nate Paredes. He's been very involved the last couple of minutes. As we said earlier, makes a big difference to this St Mary's side, and you can just see the experience there and just that strength that he has. It makes such a difference.
Outstanding vision and decision making. We've seen when he's had the ball in hands already that he makes good decisions, and he kicked that ball at a right angle to get it out there to get Saints another shot on goal.
And extremely deliberate as well. Like just, you know, to have that vision's very good as well.
So Cullen, the kick's underway, but it's off to the left and through for a minor score.
Yeah, you wouldn't mind having that one again, Geordie Cullen. You know, you want to make those ones about 35, 40 out right in front of the posts. But promising signs there.
St Mary's 2-3.
You can see here, not quite on screen, but Tiwi Bombers just completely packing together at the top of the 50-metre line and then spreading. It's a pretty smart move because they do have the pace advantage. Nice play there by Brett and Toy and the coaching staff, working out a nice little way to get out of their own end.
Here they are, they're away here, Tiwi. Jack Mungara, he gets the kick over the top, doesn't hit the target. Here's Monagatti in pursuit. He was sensational last week against Nightcliff. St Mary's with the clearance. Looks like it's going to come the other way and quite quick, although ball misses the target. Rioli wrapped up. Umpire says, my ball, I'll throw it up.
Yeah, Randy Mungatopi pretty lucky to get away with that one. Just overran it a little bit and Saints were away, but it's just very good to watch at the moment. Some pretty good skills by foot. You mentioned Jack Monagatti. He was sensational last week. They've moved him up forward this week. He played a fair bit of ruck, so it would be interesting to see what kind of influence he can have with John Anstez taking him today.
So we're back inside 50.
Oh, great hands there by McNamara.
Well, the umpire says play on and says, my ball, I'll throw it up.
Interesting to see the replay on that one. I think he looked like he got a fist to it and then grabbed it on the second grab. Pretty unlucky in that situation.
Probably deserved it anyway, coming up in that contest.
Ruff Clark gets put away pretty easy. Have a boundary throw in.
You can see Saints have definitely been the dominant side with inside 50s. Just unable to be accurate, I suppose, on the scoreboard. They've got to make every opportunity count, especially against the Tiwi Bombers. You don't want to get into a shootout. Definitely a confident side. So if you kick someone on them early, it goes a long way towards winning the game.
Here's Musgrove with a quick snap. Nearly cleans, bowls a play down there and through for a behind.
It'll be interesting to see how this game progresses too, fellas, because the Tiwi Bombers have played a lot of 2 p.m. games so far this year, maybe about 4, I think. So they're very well acclimatised. But we saw last week they ran out of legs against Nightcliff. But St Mary's have definitely played more of the night games. I think they've played 1 2 p.m. game from memory. So that'll be interesting to see because it is so hot and humid out there today.
Done to Monagatti. He does well. He plays on quickly. Ball inside 50. Wanamiri sits under it. Can he produce more magic like his last goal? He keeps his feet, gets the tap on.
Ross Tunkatalams always can produce some magic.
And it's just off to the right for a minor score. So Tiwi get their first minor score of the day. 4-1-25. St Mary's 2-4-16. 18 minutes played in the first quarter. So St Mary's away quite easily. Musgrove with a nice kick to Labastida. He moves it quickly. Mendy inside 50. McFarlane sits underneath it. Could have had an arm chop. Umpire says play on. Tiwi in trouble here and throwing it is. So the free kick coming back down here.
Good pressure inside 50 there. Paredes obviously to force that error, and now he gets this shot on goal. But both sides seem to be getting out fairly easy from these kick-ins. I'd imagine both coaches wouldn't be too happy with that, and they'll do some work on that at quarter time to make sure that quick transition is slowed down.
Speaking of transitions as well, I've just seen from the St Mary's bench a full shift change, so to speak. All 4 players coming off and on, just again trying to negate that heat, I think.
Paredes gets the goal here. So St Mary's edge closer, 3-4-22. Tiwi 4-1-25.
See, again, smart work. Peter McFarlane, again, just getting those hands out, keeping the ball out in front of him makes such a difference in this game if you can give your side a second chance, and then obviously the free there as well. Yeah, no, just great work by St Mary's in the game. Again, as we said, it's perfectly poised. Two teams with a very different style of plays in many ways, but it's working for both of them when they get to their end.
So back in the middle, Smith with a nice tap down, although it's straight down the throat of, and a nice kick inside 50. Ross Tungatalam.
Yeah.
So Rossi's off to a good start too. He's got Ben Rioli, Hodgie.
Yeah, that's a really good matchup. I'm really interested to see how this pans out through the day. Two very quick players, very clever. So that is mouth-watering, that contest. But that centre clearance from Star Zaka, just straight down the throat of Tungatalam, playing in front in the right spot.
He's been sensational from set shots this year. Ross Tungatalam puts it on the right foot, and it's got the legs. That's another goal from the Tiwi Bombers as they trade blows with St Mary's. We've got a great game here today. This is absolutely sensational stuff. Nick O'Reilly, how good is this?
It's just up and down. I'm loving it. Tungatalam's off to a good start. Mikey Coombs, we've seen him run up and down the wing. It's just up and down. Hodgie, what are you looking forward to most today, mate?
Yeah, I think this is going to be a bit of a shootout. It'll be interesting to see what the messages are from the coaches at quarter time. You know, how they slow that down. I'd imagine Saints would want to slow that scoring, or the easy Tiwi scoring down, and to give themselves an opportunity. They can't let this be a shootout.
Let's see if Starzaka can do it again with a nice tap down. Yes, he can. Tiwi clearance inside 50. Tungatalam, Rioli going at it. Rioli wins that battle. Here's Luke Bath with a nice little handball. Mikey Coombs down there. Here's Edwards. And he's just been absolutely done holding the ball. Good tackle.
Didn't know quite what to do with it, did he there? Shawnee Edwards, and then did nothing with it.
Adam Tippermutty's work rate there from that clearance, had the clearance in the middle and worked out this way to put pressure on and win the footy. Outstanding.
He's just coming off for
it could be
a break,
away
Adam
here
Tippermutty.
too. Tiwi Bombers, plenty of men in movement.
They look good, they do. Here's Munkara, he's off to a flyer as well. Monagatti, not very clean below the knees, but does well. Smith with the handball. And St Mary's are away.
Nick Mendy's got plenty of it today. Another one of the less heralded players in that St Mary's side, but he's been good so far today.
Here's Musgrove, taps it to himself, gets a handball over. Rioli weighing up his options as he heads inside 50 with a beautiful kick to Raf Clark, 30 metres out, directly in front.
Done outstanding so far, boys, St Mary's. The numbers they can get around the contest at half back there. They won that contest purely through weight of numbers. And obviously got out Jack Musgrove in a really important one-on-one on the far side, and great decision there from Shannon Rioli. Raf
Clark could have kicked that and probably did with his eyes closed. St Mary's gets their fourth. 4-4-28 to Tiwi 6-1-37.
Important contest. This one had to win it, just smart with his body, kept the ball to his advantage, and Shannon Rioli obviously decision making again, going inside 50. It wasn't quite there in the first couple of minutes of the game, but now Saints have really tidied that up. I'm sure the message has come from the box to be a bit smarter going inside 50.
Dangerous sign for the rest of the competition when you've got Raf Clark and Peter McFarlane sitting in your forward line as well.
Smith with the tap. Tungatalam. Nice, clever little ball. Tiwi on the attack again. Just over the hands of Tippermutty. Ball in dispute. Here he is, Tippermutty with the kick on, but it's just off to the left. Good mark taken there to Johnny Anstez.
Again, Tiwi winning the ball out of the centre more often than not. At the moment, they're just not quite making the most of it once they go inside 50.
Luke Bath winning the free kick there. He pops it over to Kanthari. He's turned it over. And we're away here. Tungatalam streaking through the middle with a nice kick.
free here as well. Would have had the opportunity anyway, but Monagatti about 10 metres closer, so they'll take it. Not a lot in it, but just obviously a free in the contest there. But Tiwi would have had it anyway, and it was some pretty crisp work in the lead-up.
So he's Monagatti, very impressive unit. I like him, and he's dobbed this one here. So we do have a bit of a shootout here at TIO Stadium. 6-1-37 at the Tiwi Bombers. St Mary's 4-4-28.
Yeah, well, we saw Tiwi Bombers do this last week against Nightcliff as well. Kicked 5, I think, in the first, and to Nightcliff's 1. So they've got the runs on the board in this first quarter, and they've done it again this week. They've looked absolutely sensational. Saints are looking good as well, so it's really well poised here. But they said that shootout continues. We basically have gone goal for a while now.
It's interesting the dominance that Tiwi have had in the last few minutes in this centre square with the calibre of players that Saints have got in there. So it looks like their starting points, and they're set up really well defensively,
yep.
Tiwi, and they're winning clearances off that.
Yeah, well, they haven't won. You can see in that exact spot they've won the last 3 or 4, so they're actually hitting it back towards their own goals, but making the most of that situation. Not looking to go forward off that centre bounce, but just actually looking to get numbers around the ball and not let St Mary's get away easy, and the likes of Paredes and Bath around the ball.
I reckon Bath talked the umpire into that one. Doesn't matter, we're inside 50. Michael Dunn there with a clearing kick, bit of a fly. Francis Canthari does some really nice work down there. Edwards with the kick inside Rioli out of his hands. Raf Clark smashes in. Here we go, we're out here, but all Tiwi. Bit of a dangerous kick in the middle of the ground. Here's Ross Tunga-Talam. He just chops it over. Here's Monagatti. Definitely a free kick for hands in the back there. So Monagatti will look to put Tiwi on the attack. Just give it straight back to Ross, and he does. He'd be mad not to. He's on fire. Ball inside 50. Austin Wanamiri at the back.
Can he do it again?
Gets
He might.
legs. Umpire says play on. Ball inside 50. Beautiful work.
Great work from the Tiwi Bombers. Tunga-Talam, Wazamiri, Munkara just combining beautifully at an all crucial time in this first quarter. 27 minutes gone. We can't be too far from the bell here, and that'll be some great momentum. The first time we've seen back-to-back goals kicked from one side at the same time.
How was that kick from Ross Tunga-Talam? Ozzy Wanamiri just unlucky not to grab it, but just knew where Dion Munkara was in space. Good finish, boys. I reckon we're in for a treat. Let's hope they can keep this scoring rate up, because we're going to be in for might be a bit of a cricket score here today from both sides.
Check in with the cricket score as soon as we can. Jake Horrocks does all that handy work.
Again, dominance in the middle here for Tiwi.
Johnny Edwards just crapping him a bit there. Holding on to Tip and Woody. They're just winding down the clock here. Tiwi happy with their lead.
Their ability to go quick when they want to, but like we can see here, they're just that slow play, maintain possession, not allow. If you've got the footy, St Mary's can't score. So
the way they're going though, they'll be mad not to go. Big fly. Umpire says play on. Didn't get his hands to the ball, and there we have it. It's quarter time here at TIO Stadium. St Mary's 4-4-28. Tiwi 7-1-43. We'll be right back after this.
She's flying down to Alice today.
Don't forget to put away the garden furniture.
Yep, got it.
And just remember the TIO weather alerts. Garden furniture!
Love you too.
She's off, but he's still got TIO. They cover you for territory weather, cyclone, storm surge, flood, hail, and they're local, so they can respond fast.
TIO? Storm staying, kids.
Yeah!
Just a moment.
The wait is over, baby. It's time to get it on. Watch out now. Yeah. In Australia, a keg of Carlton Draft is changed every 46 seconds. Carlton Draft, it's that fresh, baby.
1,300 kilonewton centrifugal force, infrared remote control.
How does he do it?
24.5 kilowatt diesel motor.
He doesn't just know how to operate every piece of Kennard's high gear we get in, but also its service details, its safety checks.
I know. It's as if he can hypnotise each piece.
Give me 2 passes with sauce, coffee white with 1 bun with icing, no pink icing.
Yep, no worries, Terry.
Another life saved with the Chemist Warehouse app. Take control of your health and wellness. Download now.
Intersport, new concept store now open in Casuarina Square. Come in and check out a world-class shopping experience.
Dedicated sports zones.
Now stocking only the biggest brands in tennis, cricket, fitness from treadmills to benches, boxing, swimming, darts, pool and table tennis. For awesome service and advice, still locally owned and operated, the all-new Intersport concept store.
Now open at Casuarina Square.
Are you overrun with rubbish and need a skip bin? For easy disposal from your garden cleanup, renovation or spring clean? When you think skip bins, think NTRS. NTRS, your friendly, reliable and local waste disposal company.
And we are back, second quarter not too far away. Nicholas O'Reilly, Andrew Hodges with me. Nicholas O'Reilly's just finished a pie. He's got some on his cheek that I didn't tell him about. But, boys, great first quarter to Sedeka. We can hope for more in the second.
I just love Tiwi. They've rocked up to play again like we saw last week. They're quick, they're exciting, they're causing a lot of problems when they go forward, Hodgie.
Yeah, they're just playing their brand of footy and, you know, scoring quite easily. So they've done a great job at a lot of pressure on the ball carrier and getting the ball turned over at half-back for them and slingshotting and getting some really good scoring opportunities out of going the other way. Saints, when they go forward, they maintain possession. They get the ball a little bit deeper inside their 50. They look dangerous themselves and they score quite easily. So I think that's the key against a tight side like Tiwi, is that you need to maintain possession and obviously get a bit closer to goal. That's pointing at the obvious, but it's as simple as that. And, you know, Tiwi, hopefully they can maintain this this quick style of footy. You know, 2 o'clock game, quite hot out there. It's going to be exciting if they can, because we're going to see a very high score probably from both sides.
Yeah, no, I think you're exactly right, Hodgie. The other thing too is that we could see just off coverage that Rick Nolan was getting right into his St Mary's players, but he'll tell them that remember what happened last week to the Bombers. They faded late, so let's stay in this one, and maybe it's the fourth quarter where we really hit our straps.
So Smith with a beautiful tap straight down the throat of Mendy. That's Tiwi back there. It's Tippermoody.
Silvani Babui with a nice early touch, one of the best player names to say in the competition. Absolutely love it.
Here's Buran Tatamiri, inside 50. Monagatti flies, ball goes down. Nice little tap there. Here's Monagatti again with the handball. Snap on goal is off to the right. So Tiwi opened the account in the second quarter with just the minor score.
Pretty smart play there by Paddy Heenan. I didn't think he had any chance of being able to bend that one around with all of his momentum going in the other way, but he put as much hook on it as he could. Almost got it around enough. It was pretty smart play there.
Luke Barth over there stinking it up, giving away a free kick early. Good to see Luke back. Tiwi, ball plays on quickly. It's a nice kick inside. Austin flies, ball on the deck. Bodies flying everywhere, and that ball looked to me as though it was on the full, no touched.
See Shane Tipuamanamerri there on our screen. Just a big shout out to him. What a legend of the game he is. He's done so much for Tiwi football, for the Tiwi Bombers football club. Of course, won the Nichols medal in 2012-13 season. Had an absolutely great year. The year they made it to the grand final against St Mary's, funnily enough. So, yeah, great work to Shane Tipuamanamerri, Donald Mungatopi as well, who both play their 150th games today.
Tungatalum there getting swung around about 5 times until the umpire said that he's holding the ball. Here's Smith. Like the look of this man in the Tiwi colours. That's Daniel Sturzaker.
You know how much I appreciate a good haircut too, and you know he's gone the reverse man bun. I think that we can say here, old Sturzaker. I don't want to give him too hard a time because you know I think I'm starting to get pretty thin up there myself. But I absolutely love it that he's rocking it. It's a great look.
He's been out, despite that, boys. He's been outstanding so far today in the ruck and around the ground. You saw that impact that contest just before to punch that ball away. He's going to be very important for Tiwi in the ruck, and being able to play Mongatti forward is going to be very important for them going forward if he can hold down that position in the ruck.
Well, what being able to play Mongatti forward, St Mary's just out of nothing managed to get their hands on the ball, and Jack Musgrove, he didn't celebrate there real hard, but he's pretty happy with it, and it goes through for a goal. Nice work there by St Mary's, creating something out of nothing. And that's just what they needed with the flow of the game really going against them at the time. You can see here the free, and Paredes just bombed it in. Then sort of no hands there by Raf Clark, but they just got a nice bounce there. Musgrove summed up the situation pretty well, and McNamara just couldn't quite go with him. But a much-needed goal there for St Mary's. Gets the margin to 10 points, and again just stops that flow that Tiwi certainly had at the time.
Smith with a beautiful tap straight down Luke Barth's throat. ball inside 50. Nice.
Paddy,
One
no.
hander.
Jason
Purantatamiri. Jinx. Beautiful grab.
There's an echo in here.
In here. Purantatamiri puts a kick out.
Stazaka probably will get paid that, and he does. We were just talking about him before. He's been very good today. Puts it on the left boot. Could have been a push in the back there, and it was. St Mary's from a similar position where they started it all on that last goal, this time through Shawnee Edwards. Finds young Musgrove, who has time to wipe the hands clean as the ball was coming through. Oh, Stazaka's got some kind of glue on his hands at the moment. He's catching everything.
It's one-handed Saturdays here at TIO Stadium. A few one-handers early. Here's Monagatti. He's looking sharp, this unit. Ball kicks down the line. And dropping the ball there, so good pressure there from young Denny Musgrove.
Saints definitely doing a better job when Tiwi are going forward, keeping that pressure on and causing these little turnovers that enabling. Jeez, that was a beauty, wasn't it? Enabling Saints to be able.
We've seen some good goals today, Hodgie, but that takes the cake. That's amazing.
And they're out the other side, but obviously it's working for them so far. That pressure.
Enjoy the bench, Hodgie. And Nick, what have you got to say?
Well, anyway, we're back underway here in the back line.
Tipua Manameri hairballs it to himself. Mikey Coombs manages to pick up the scraps. And that's gone through for a goal. Great work, Mikey Coombs again. Another opportunistic goal from the green and gold men. And that's just what they needed. Takes the margin back to 4 points, and they've certainly looked like a different side in this second quarter.
Well, their ball movement's pretty similar to what Tiwi normally have, trying to get the ball to the fat side and move it quickly, which they've done, and their pressure has definitely up compared to what it was in this first quarter. So off the back of that, they've just had two really good goals, and they're right back in this game.
Brenton Toy will be furious about that centering kick inside his own 50 under pressure. I'm not sure what player it was, but the kick that went to Shane Tipua Manameri there, you know, you just don't want to put your players under that kind of pressure in your own danger zone.
Ross Tungatullum there with the clearance. Ball bounces over the top. Tiwi with an opportunity here. Nice little handball. Ball flies over the goal umpire's hat. No, it doesn't. Off to the right.
Yeah, missed opportunity there. Looked good. Adam Tipamudi had the chance to put that one through and strike straight back, which is the best thing you can do, especially in a high-scoring game like this. As Sauce Smith manages to get first to this ball and get the Saints out of trouble, does he? Has another crack. There's about a metre height difference between those two players.
Jeez, beautiful effort there from Tipamudi. Gives a handball off. No, we're coming back.
I think Ryan Smith was calling for a high tackle there, and there was no way that Adam Tipamudi could reach that high.
Never seen a little man drag a big man down like that before.
Great tackle, wasn't it, boys? I think Smithy was a bit disappointed with his teammates up the ground. They didn't come and lend assistance.
So ball inside 50. Here we go. Kick on goal. You've got to be kidding me. It's off to the right.
Yeah, just probably had a little bit more time there than he realised there, but you know, it's all positive here for the Bombers, although pretty easy out here. Ben Rioli finds Iggy Villasio. I think it's his 351st game today. Iggy Villasio, the game's record holder for all of NTFL history. What a legend of the game he is, and looking pretty good today, as well as St Mary's managed to find a fair bit of space on the scoreboard side of the ground. Huey McMurtry puts one into the danger zone. McFarlane rises. Haven't seen much of him this quarter as yet. And there it is, Jason Purantatamiri cleaning that one up nicely. And the Bombers will say, well, let's have a go ourselves here and try and get it back to the other end. Find some nice space there. That's Michael Dunn. Bounce will be important here. Comes up nicely. Manages to get inside 50. Saints have the numbers cleaned up there. It'll be John Anstez, who, again, it's almost like full field Forsey backs here at the moment, fellas.
Very uncontested footy at the moment, isn't it?
So here's Mikey Coombs. Just shrugs the tackle. Puts Saints back inside 50. He's Musgrove.
Nice
Nice
play by
cheeky
Musgrove
kick,
there.
but just misses the target.
Did all the right things though, didn't he? Just turned and put it into the danger zone. Probably was just about 5 centimetres too high. Smart play there from the Bombers to get out of trouble, taking their time. Nice bounce, Paddy Heenan. Sums up the situation pretty well. Centering kick, quick handball. Finds Randy Mungatopi, puts it inside 50, but good read there by Rav Clark. One of the best in the business. Tries to play on, and he's pinned.
Albert Tipperwoody there with a beautiful free kick. Rav Clark saying, hold on a minute, pal, I did not play on. Check out the replay. But umpire's in the best position, Hodgie.
He was right on the money there, right in the spot. I'm not too sure if he had played on, but obviously on the spot here, Albert gets another shot on goal. So I was just about to say, just before this, Saints looked a lot better defensively and were rebounding the ball at will. And as I was about to say that, Tiwi then put the pressure on and caused the turnover.
So here's Tipperwoody. Kick underway, and he's pushed it to the right. So Tiwi have missed a few opportunities early here in this second quarter.
Well, they were 7-1 at the quarter, Nick, and they're 7-5 now, so it's 4 straight misses for the boys from the islands. So, yeah, they'll be pretty disappointed about that after being so accurate in that first quarter.
St Mary's 6-4, 40, Tiwi 7-5, 47. As Tiwi out of it, St Mary's out of their back half pretty easy. Nate Paredes gets the kick over. Can't see who that is. It's a little man. It's Josh Heath.
Heath, yep.
Mikey Coombs flies and takes a good mark. Plays on quickly. Musgrove weighs up his options. Here's McFarlane. He's going to get an easy second goal for here. St Mary's just keep in touch, Hodgie.
Yeah, their transition has been very impressive this quarter. Mikey Coombs, I was just watching him on the opposite side of the ground where he got the ball just then on the half-back flank. He's worked really hard to get forward, take that mark, get the ball to advantage of one of his teammates, and obviously an easy goal to Peter McFarlane. So, yeah, really uncontested footy in this quarter. We've seen almost a complete opposite of the first quarter, I suppose, in the way that Saints are able to almost play the Tiwi brand of footy, haven't they, boys? Yep. So, and it's been impressive for them to get back within 1 point.
Yeah, and Peter McFarlane will say thank you very much every time. That's 2 goals for him today, and he's kicked them both uncontested in the goal square. So they're doing something right, the green and gold, as the Tiwi Bombers managed to get the ball out of this one. Can they get away quickly? It's a handball onto the inside. Bounce will be important.
And dropping the ball. Good tackle, Raf Clark there. Ball's coming back to Raf as he demands it. So
plenty of numbers here.
Clark hits Rioli. Rioli inside 50 now, and McFarlane all by himself, sitting out there with a good mark, and he'll line up for goal about 40 metres out.
Yeah, McNamara just couldn't go with him there. The quick ball inside 50 for St Mary's. They're going to win those contests more often than not with the forward line that they have, and yeah, McNamara just couldn't quite go with McFarlane there.
So St Mary's and McFarlane to get them back in front. Kick underway, it looks pretty good. That's a goal. McFarlane's kicked a few in a row.
Yeah, that's 3 for McFarlane now and 2 in the space of 2 minutes. So the goal scoring continues for the former retired St Mary's legend. That's now 15 goals in three games with a half and a bit still to play. So he's certainly come back firing for St Mary's, and they've hit the lead for the first time this game.
He got that separation there, boys, from his opponent. McNamara hasn't given him much space all day, but 4 or 5 little sharp leads before that, he finally got out. So he works really hard, even though he's just come out of retirement. It looks like he's in pretty good shape, and he's working pretty hard, and he's getting the rewards.
So Smith with the tap down, but it's Tiwi at his feet. Ball inside 50. Here's Wanamiri. He wins that battle, gets the snap on goal. Good defense down there. Rioli just taps it over the top. Ball still in play. Here's Monagatti, shrugs.
Probably dropped it.
And he did. Tried to take on Edwards. Nothing was doing there. As St Mary's look like they can reload pretty easily here. They're out on the outer side. Smith thought about giving the handball. Thought probably not. Rioli's a better option. And Musgrove gets hit up. Ball goes inside. Here's Josh Heath with a good running grab.
How good is this end-to-end footy that we've got going today? St Mary's have gone from the goal square essentially.
Good
and with that
grab
mark
down
there from McFarlane, they've gone end-to-end without the ball hitting the deck, and that's what coaches love to see.
On the flip side of that, Brenton Toy wouldn't be too happy, obviously, but it would be pretty concerning to see how easily St Mary's can transition that ball from one end of the ground to the other, uncontested. Some of the Tiwi players on team defence side, as soon as Saints win the ball, are almost walking at some stages. So I'd imagine they need to fix that up pretty quickly to try and get the momentum swung back their way.
Tough angle here for McFarlane because he bends it from right to left usually.
Kick underway. Goal umpire didn't move. Must have hit the post, it looks like.
Post, yeah.
So he gets his first minor for the day. St Mary's extend their lead. 8-5-53 to Tiwi, 7-5-47. 14 minutes played in the second quarter.
You can even see the break isn't quite happening as quickly as it did that they pulled off so well in that first quarter. Nice diving effort there from Joshy Heath to intercept it, coming back with the flight of the ball. Great work there. It's they're the efforts that coaches love to see.
He's
set
Edwards.
up Sean Edwards, who tried to play on quickly, but
coming back.
Yeah, paid back there. But that little effort from Joshy Heath, it's not something that you know you'll remember as a highlight of the game. But they're the efforts that coaches love to see.
So Mikey Coombs just weighing up his options here. Plays on. Kick underway, looks
roost.
Just off to the left. Good
Good
grab.
hands there, McFarlane. Is that paid? No, it's
One
not.
behind. So another behind here. They extend their lead. St Mary's do by 7 points. They're away here.
Yeah,
Michael Dunn. He's going to put the afterburners on here. Monagatti could have had hands in the back. Takes the grab. Weighing up his options.
A smart play there by Monagatti. Just didn't really have any real options there. A few tired Tiwi plays didn't quite get forward in time. So smart play, taking it back a bit and seeing what he could do. Saints definitely have the numbers 3-on-1 here and make the most of it as Ben Rioli just chips it out. Johnny Anstez it is there in that right pocket. Again, chips out here, and as Andrew Hodges was saying before, it's all a little bit too easy when Saints are coming out of trouble as Musgrove puts on the right step and over-kicks McMurtry a little bit. Tiwi will have a chance to counter here as it gets put on the right boot. Jack Munkara out there, what can he do with it? Centres it. Beautiful kick.
Better inside 50 kick, here we go. Yeah, better position. So just before that, boys, Monagatti on the centre wing there. Just that long, high ball inside 50 is not the right option to go for the Tiwi forwards. It's okay if he's down there to contest for it, but he was the one kicking it. It's interesting to see that Brenton Toy's persisted with him forward. It might be the time now to swim in the ruck for a couple of minutes just to try and give themselves a little bit of dominance in the middle because he hasn't had a massive impact forward. He is creating a contest and the ball going in is going in a bit lower and a bit quicker. So,
Aussie Wanamiri, he gets another.
Very important goal there, Tiwi Bombers. Austin Wanamiri kicks his second for the game, but I think you're absolutely right, Hodgie. Monagatti had such an impact, not just with his work in the ruck last week, but what he does off the ball and when the ball's on the deck. So it's certainly an option there for Brenton Toy. He might like the fact that it kind of keeps Johnny Anstez out of the game as well. You know, their best defender having to take the size of Monagatti. But you know what? It's a 1 point game, so things are looking pretty good at the moment.
So St Mary's 8-6-54, Tiwi 8-5-53 as we're back underway. Smith with a nice tap down. Here's Mikey Coombs.
I definitely don't think Aaron Daniels is the answer in the ruck, who just went up against Ryan Smith there, giving up about 30 or 40 centimetres. Monagatti might be a better option than that.
Might see the old deliberate here. Nah, boundary throw in. Smith with a dominant tap. Over to Edwards. Ball flies inside 50. Bit going on there.
Labastide has got a free here.
He hits towards the McFarlane direction. Nearly gets a grab, dances around a few, gets a handball off. Here's Francis Canthari with a snap over the shoulder, but it's all Tiwi back there and a good grab, McNamara.
Oh, geez, it's a horrible handball and stopped a bit of momentum there, but they... That'll be paid. That's got to be paid, Dion Munkara. Haven't seen as much of him this quarter as we did in the first, but that's great hands there from the left-footed superstar as he centres the kick. It's dangerous if Coombs gets it, which he does. Probably wasn't quite the right option, but he didn't have a lot of them, to be fair to him. Coombs sums up the situation. He's going to look for McFarlane, and why wouldn't you? Lands a little bit short of him. McFarlane probably had the run at it, but Paddy Heenan a little bit too quick. Well, they're still going at it. He might get done for dropping the ball here.
Now we're going to have a boundary throw in the forward pocket for St Mary's.
Just waiting for someone to break this game open, aren't we? It's been end-to-end. It's been almost goal for goal, give or take a couple. As we have a look at the St Mary's bench here, Luke Bath, Joshy Heath, ready to come on by the looks of it. But yeah, it's just waiting for somebody to really break the game open. It might happen.
And holding the ball.
Holding the ball there, Shawnee Edwards. Tiwi need to really get back to what they did so well in the first, and that's get out quickly.
Saints have done a good job to slow that down this quarter, boys.
Mendy puts it on the right foot and he pumps his fist well before it goes through the post. He obviously knew it was right on track. Another great goal for St Mary's, as Andrew Hodges, you said really well. Just Tiwi Bombers aren't able to get out of their own end as well as they did in the first, and St Mary's just patrolling that half-forward line for them and really making them pay. Nicholas Mendy just mopping it up there, and you can see here on the replay, not a bad option, but St Mary's players everywhere. We had, 5 on 2 or 3 there, and Mendy just did it easily.
Yeah, and they're being forced to kick to a contest now simply because St Mary's are pairing off and manning up better on the opposition, so creating opportunities for themselves. Dominance in the middle again.
Francis Canthari flies, drops, does well to get the handball away. Tricky little volleyball style sort of work there. Good effort by McNamara, but Musgrove just...
it through. I just can't work it out, boys. Hodgie, you're the expert coach and one of the best in the business. I just can't work out why, after going so well in the ruck in that first quarter, that Tiwi sort of seem to have changed their game plan. I know Stazaka needs to have a break, but Daniel certainly isn't the answer when he's giving up 30 or 40 centimetres in height.
Yeah, I think
against Ryan Smith.
They're definitely going to have to look for Monagatti to get in there and spend a little bit of time, because Saints are just walking the ball out of this centre square at will and scoring just as easy. So Tiwi were structured up fairly well in that first quarter when they weren't dominant in the ruck, and were able to still get clearances. They haven't been able to do that this quarter. And again,
beautiful work. Luke Bath gets pushed off the ball, gets his own ball back, heads inside 50. McFarlane out on the lead, bounce in front of him, does well, keeps it in front. Here's Edwards, swings around with a nice little chiseler, and Francis Canthari's got the ball 40 metres out on a slight angle, this to extend their lead.
Rick Nolan will be absolutely loving this at the moment. It's just certainly kind of clicked into gear. The first didn't quite work, but now that they're winning that ruck ball, this is what St Mary's do so well, around the middle and then hit their targets inside 50. And Kinthari squeezes it against that post, but manages to kick it through. St Mary's on an absolute roll here. And that lead, after being quite big to Tiwi Bombers at one point, is now actually out to nearly 20 points for St Mary's. And worrying signs here. We're approaching half-time, but I think the Bombers would really like one before that half-time siren.
There's been 2 adjustments I can see, boys, with Saints. Just their setup at these stoppages, communication between ruck and the midfielders has been a lot better, and Ryan Smith's done a great job at getting the ball in hands. And the other one is when Tiwi do get the ball, their pressure on the ball carrier and ability to be able to get Tiwi to turn the ball over is worked for St Mary's this quarter.
Zaka back in the ruck, and you can see an instant impact that's had straight away when it's 2 guys of at least a similar height going at it. They managed to mop up quite well. Musgrove may have thrown it. It's called play on. McMurtry does a nice little grubber kick that Andrew Johns would be proud of.
Good effort there by Roy Farmer to get over and get the spoil on, but it doesn't matter. Ryan Smith's away. Don't say that very often. The big unit going for a run. Nice little handball there. 1-2, kick underway and off to the right.
You've got to love it when a big ruckman has one of his midfielders streaking past him for an easy handball and he decides not to use him. Says, no, I've got this one, mate. I'll go down there myself. I love the confidence.
The other change we've seen this quarter, boys, is Raf Clark going back, played forward first quarter. He's on
Musgrove. This could go through for his fourth, and it does. Great work there from Jack Musgrove. That's his second real opportunistic goal today, just picking it up off the deck, and Tiwi not going with him and not having a body on him. We'll see here on the replay. Again, it's from a kick-out. We've seen 3 goals this quarter just coming from inefficient kick-outs. Musgrove just picking up the ball, had a look around, but no numbers there from the Tiwi Bombers. Musgrove says thank you very much and has 4 by the half.
St Mary's 11-7-73. They extend their lead by 20 points to Tiwi. 8-5-53. 24 minutes played in the second quarter here at TIO Stadium as we're back in the middle. Smith wins that one easy, goes up against no one. Here's Paddy Heenan.
Soccer game gone for the moment. We had the World Cup draw overnight, fellas. The boys taking inspiration from that. Denmark, Peru and France, I think we have. So very exciting times coming ahead for the World Cup in Russia, as well as Tiwi get inside 50 for the first time this quarter. Not this quarter, sorry, for quite a while.
Outstanding, Jake. The coverage on World Sports that you give every week keeps me coming back every week.
I love how you say it, first time they've gone in this quarter. Yeah. But, however...
Not this quarter,
Peru,
but in quite a while it's been
France.
that dominant.
Got everything.
God love you. Anyway, we're
they
back
need a
here.
goal here, Tiwi Bombers, that's for certain.
Good tap down there, wrapped up pretty quickly. Umpire's going to ball that one up. What do they need to do around this stoppage here, Hodgie, to get a late one to keep them in the game?
There's quite a few bodies around this stoppage. They probably want to clear it out a little bit. A lot of Saints defenders in there. Not much space for the Tiwi forwards to work their magic.
So Israeli, geez, that could have been on the full. Nah, it's off the knee. So we'll have another stoppage in the forward pocket for Tiwi. Could really use a goal here. They're down by 20 points after being so impressive early.
Yeah, we had about 28 minutes in the first quarter, so maybe about a minute or so to go. If they could strike, they'd definitely like that and get it back under 3 goals would certainly be helpful for Brenton Toy and his man Jack Musgrove, a long way down the ground, spins around like he's kicked a couple of goals so far today, manages to find the Tiwi Bombers players pretty unmarked here. Purantana Miri will just, it wasn't a great kick, puts his player under a fair bit of pressure, and that's just what they don't need at the moment. St Mary's should be able to mop here up, although Huey McMurtry's had a air swing there and might get pinged for it, and is.
Olympia Mini, beautiful work by him.
This is the chance they need. It'll be a kick from about 52, you would think, for Bradley Palapamini. Not sure if he's got that in him, but we'll have to see. Be a very good goal if he could get it. The siren's certainly not far away either.
Olympia Mini probably needs to get onto an almighty barrel from there.
Or just chip it forward to Dion Mankara, which is exactly what you thought was going to happen. Nicholas O'Reilly, well called.
Thank you, son. Thank you very much.
Dion Mankara has been, again, one of Tiwi Bombers' best and has already kicked one today, I'm pretty sure.
Right on the half-time.
2 today, actually, Dion Mankara. So this could go through for his third, and it would be his most important one of the day if he can kick it.
So Mankara on the approach to keep him in it at half-time. Kick underway, and they like it. He likes it. Beautiful work there from Mankara. It's half-time here at TIO Stadium. St Mary's 11-7-73. Tiwi Bombers 9-5-59. We'll be back with the second half right after this.
During a storm or cyclone, wind speeds can exceed 240 kilometers per hour, so it's important to maintain the roof and gutters of your home. Strong winds could turn a barbecue into a dangerous and destructive missile. Trees and airborne objects cause damage to property. Make sure you have trees trimmed and objects like rubbish bins, kids' toys and garden furniture stowed away and securely tied down. Be prepared. Brought to you by NTS and TIO.
Life. So full of surprises. But you don't want a headache to be one of them. Get Panadol Rapid from Chemist Warehouse. It's absorbed 2 times faster than regular Panadol tablets, so you won't miss life's special moments. Panadol Rapid. When pain is gone, life takes its place. Available at Chemist Warehouse for the lowest prices guaranteed.
She's flying down to Alice today.
Don't forget to put away the garden furniture.
Yep, got it.
And just remember the TIO weather alerts. Garden furniture!
Love you too.
She's off, but he's still got TIO. They cover you for territory weather, cyclone, storm surge, flood, hail, and they're local, so they can respond fast.
TIO? Storm staying, kids.
Yeah! Intersport, new concept store, now open in Casuarina Square. Come in and check out a world-class shopping experience. Dedicated sports zones, men's performance, lifestyle, basketball. All new women's zone from running to yoga. And Intersport Kids Zone, all ages, performance footwear and apparel. Plus the new dedicated football zone, all year for all codes. For awesome service and advice, come in and see us. The all-new Intersport concept store, Casuarina Square.
Let's see. Roma, Verona?
Perhaps Barcelona.
Make your dream holiday a reality. Book your next getaway at Flight Centre with interest-free holidays and flexible repayment options.
Best in the air.
And everywhere.
Flight Centre.
Welcome back to the second half of to the TIO Stadium. I can't talk now, but we're underway. Luke Barth, they're not getting the kick away. Tiwi doing the early attacking. Ball on the deck. At the back, here's Monagatti. Dances around Raf Clark. Gets a handball over to Zaka.
Big hit and spin, and then an air kick. Oh, I love the hit and spin, the big palm, and then he's absolutely missed it. Good start to the third quarter. Hello, fellas. Hodgie, what'd you make of the first half, mate?
Yeah, very interesting. Obviously, Tiwi very dominant in the first quarter, then obviously Saints in the second. So it set us up for a cracking second half. That goal, Tiwi kicked late in the quarter, just to keep themselves in touch. Hopefully get them a good start in this quarter.
McFarlane has a nice run at that one. Nicely thwarted there by the Tiwi Bombers as the 150 game. Shane Tipua-Manameri gets it on the left foot and kicks to space. I think in this race you'll find Adam Tipamudi has the pace. Centres it back in. They'd certainly love to get the first goal of the quarter, would the Tiwi Bombers, and they'll have a chance here, although the park break came on there for Gary Purintanamiri, and although it's a great goal, he put the right step on, composed himself, and he can pull out some good goals at important times, Gary Purintanamiri, and he's done exactly that. It's the first goal of the quarter and one that the Tiwi Bombers definitely needed to stay in this contest.
Yeah, just that speed from Adam Tipamudi on the far side of the ground too. Just before this replay was very impressive, and just that little shake and bake inside, and good finish. So Tiwi obviously the last goal of the second quarter, and then open up the third quarter with a goal as well. So game on, I reckon, boys.
Hodgie, we were talking in the halftime break, mate, about we wanted to see Sturzaka or Monagatti back in the ruck, and we've got what we wanted, haven't we? They look better with this man in the front in the ruck.
Yeah, having said that, it was a pretty easy walk away for St Mary's, but they definitely look a bit better in their Tiwi when he's in the ruck.
And
they didn't need that though, the Bombers. Pretty easy free going to Henry Labastida. You know, it's the momentum that Tiwi haven't really been able to create since the early minutes of this game when they got a few back-to-back goals. Every time that they kick a goal, Saints pretty much have an answer straight back. Labastida will kick this one from around about 30-35 out on a slight angle. But it just, you know, they were so up and about after kicking that early goal, and this one for a pretty easy free will certainly hurt. And Labastida has kicked it. It was certainly messing with the post there, but it just slid inside it. Great goal there to Henry Labastida, and we're back on a level pegging for this third term.
Yeah, very impressive second quarter by Saints. They kicked 8 goals in that second quarter, so... and they did come on fairly easy, half of those goals, and that's another fairly easy opportunity on goal there, and a good finish by Henry Labastida. Like we said, we've had 23 goals and we're 3 minutes into the third quarter. This is a fairly high-scoring game, and I think it might continue throughout the day.
You can see there Nate Paredes on that replay as well, just the strength of him to get that ball. He's so good in getting it. That time it's Luke Barth. The two real good ball getters for St Mary's make an impact early on this third term. Push forward again here, socket off the ground. Labastida with another key involvement. Gets into Cullen, who centres it nicely. McFarlane taps it to himself, and that's going to be paid, yes. Great work there by McFarlane. Just had the height and tapped it about a metre or so ahead to himself, and he'll be 25 metres out right in front, and again, lovely play there by St Mary's.
Yeah, and just too easy out of that centre square if you're from a Tiwi point of view. Saints just able to run it out whenever they want.
He's kicked 3 already, Peter McFarlane coming in for number 4. Likes it, claps it, pumps the fist. And then Shawnee Edwards comes and says, well done, mate, as does Jack Musgrove. McFarlane has his 4th for the day. St Mary's have their 2nd for this quarter, and it's, yeah, as you mentioned, Andrew Hodges, very dangerous signs unless Tiwi can compete at this centre square.
So 26 points, the margin here at TIO. St Mary's 14-7-91, Tiwi 10-5-65. Only played 4 minutes in this third quarter, and we've already had the 3 goals, Hodgie.
Yeah, look, obviously no signs of it slowing down either, boys. So I think the worrying signs for Tiwi is that these centre square bounces, they need to get on the right side. Ryan Smith has got total dominance in there and putting it at will where he wants the ball. And you can see there in the middle now, Tiwi's starting points are probably a little bit better, you'd think.
Interestingly too, fellas, we noticed a couple of games when we went suburban out to Nightcliff Oval, Chris Paris, he played a pretty good role on Cam Islet for most of that game, and he's now on Ross Tungatalam, not actually looking at the ball at all on those centre bounces, just trying to stop the run of Tungatalam to have an impact on the game.
So Monagatti down with the 2-on-1. Austin Montemery just pushes it to the left. Would have been a handy one there.
But yeah, it is an interesting thing because, you know, Ross Tungatalam so crucial to the Tiwi Bombers' chances, and one of those good ball getters that they do have. But Chris Paris just basically playing that complete tagging role, just doesn't want to get him anywhere near the ball. Doing a good job of it so far as well.
So they're out pretty easy here, St. Mary's. Rioli hits up Mendy. He moves it quickly. Here's Smith. With the kick down the line.
Oh, good up by Labastida.
Plays on quickly. Here's Musgrove with the kick, but it's all Tiwi back there. Misses a target. Peter McFarlane was out there. Well done there from Tip and Woody with the handball over the top.
Played on quickly. Probably should have good hands there.
Tip and Woody gets it back. Here's Babui with the 1-2. Inside 50 now with the kick. Dropped mark there. Play on.
Just all a bit too easy for St. Mary's at the moment. Just not enough pressure around the ball for the Bombers.
So Edwards pushes it out to Musgrove. He hits up another Musgrove. Here's Francis Kantari. Drops
just had a
the
quick
ball.
look, didn't he?
Gets the handball away. Mendy. Inside 50 now. McFarlane sits underneath. Nearly takes the grab.
Reedies just didn't quite get the roll on it. It goes through for a minor score, but every time that St. Mary's can do that middling style kick to the pack and McFarlane flies up, it's dangerous with it, whether either McFarlane takes the mark or parries it down to one of the crummers there. It's looking pretty dangerous at the moment. As the Bombers try and get out of trouble. Mongatti with a big fly along with Sean Edwards. Mikey Coombs is the one who gets the ball, and Raph Clark then, I think it is, puts it over. Edwards chucks it into that middle as we were just talking about it. McFarlane parries it down to Labastida, who puts on a few steps, handballs it out. Musgrove chips it over. McFarlane will take the mark. He'll go step right back at a pretty simple angle, only 10 or 15 metres out, and when you've kicked 4 already, you'd have to imagine he'll be a pretty odds-on favourite to kick this one. Looking pretty good for St. Mary's at the moment, fellas.
Yeah, and pretty concerning for Tiwi. Just the amount of uncontested possessions for St. Mary's would be a worrying sign for Brenton Toy, I'd imagine. So a lot of walking going on when they don't have the footy. So they need to get themselves back in this game.
And McFarlane drills that one for St. Mary's. So they extend their lead here. Worrying signs, as Hodgie just said, for Tiwi Bombers, but it's St. Mary's 15-7-97 to Tiwi 10-6-66. They extend their lead by 31 points.
It looks like we might have a change here in the ruck for Tiwi into this.
He's going to call it.
8.5 minutes into this third quarter. Monagatti's going to go in. So it'll be interesting to see how this contest goes in there, but obviously he's just got to get first use to his players. Ryan Smith's been outstanding today and given his players first use, and they've got a pretty good plan in the middle there, and it seems to be working for them the last 2 quarters.
I love what Monagatti brings to the contest here, and he wins that one down. But it's all St. Mary's at ground level, although Tiwi get the clearance. A little kick out to the wing. Ball in dispute here. Monagatti gets the ball back, puts inside 50. Tungatalam gets absolutely ragdolled and wins the free kick. So he did well there. Tungatalam, there was St. Mary's players everywhere, but he got the free kick, Hodgie.
Yeah, definitely a bit of holding on going there. He made sure the umpire saw it as well. So you saw there straight away, Monagatti coming off the ground right now, but his first impact into the middle of the ground.
Get him back out there.
Get him back out there as soon as you can, because he was very good at that stoppage there, and obviously straight away we've seen him inside 50.
Ross Tungatalam gets a much needed Tiwi goal. Good work from that young man.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was mentioning before, about 5 minutes ago, that the Tungatulum was being completely tagged in the middle by Paris. So what Brenton Toy's obviously realised that it's hard for Tungatulum to have too much of an impact when they're just completely trying to negate him in the middle there. So they've moved him up forward, which is the value that you have in a player like Ross Tungatulum, who's so versatile, and you know that might be something they look to exploit. Ben Rioli's taking him again. It's a matchup where obviously both probably similar speed-wise, but a bit more size there for Tungatulum and strength, so they might try and get it in and utilise that one-on-one there.
St Mary's 97, Tiwi 72. 10 minutes played in this third quarter as Tiwi win that clearance again, but it's all St Mary's back there with McMurtry. He moves it on quickly. They've been holding the ball. Umpire says play on. Bit of holding.
Smart play there. Jack Munkara. Beautifully done. Very poised. Wanamiri chips in. It's a tricky one. Yeah, probably just... Yeah, paid in the back. Hasn't been a lot of movement from Dion Munkara since he's gone down either, so they'll go in and check on him here. Hopefully he's all right because he's been sensational today.
How good was Jack Mankara's contest on the wing here, boys? He had 3 St Mary's players around him, able to weave his way through, and a great pass inside 50.
Dion Munkara has been sensational today. He's got 2 goals already and will look to chuck a third through here. If this one can go through, then it gets it back to around that 20-point mark, a bit of momentum, which is exactly what Tiwi Bombers need as this game progresses. Just stay in the contest. That'll be what Brenton Toy's message is coming out from the runners at the moment. Let's stay in the contest because we know how quickly they can put on goals. We saw 7 goals in that first quarter. Munkara runs in, puts it on that beautiful left boot of his. It's swinging, but it stays inside the big sticks. That's 3 goals for Dion Munkara, who's been right up there with Tiwi Bombers' best, and a much-needed goal. That's back-to-back goals, 2 goals in about 5 minutes. Tiwi just showing a little bit of life, fellas.
Yeah, they're staying in touch, aren't they, with the last couple of goals. Obviously, this contest here on centre wing, Jack Mankara, very important, surrounded by...
Look at that, the weave.
Yeah, very, very important player, very good player, and great hit up there as well. So they're starting to get themselves back on top through the middle of the ground here, which is important for them. If they...
Oh, yeah, geez.
There's no point having your best players up the ground if you can't get the ball out of the middle here, so an important one for him here to get this clearance.
Interesting to see if anything comes of that hit. Yves Alasia looked to clean up a fair bit of Dion Munkara's head with that elbow there, so I don't think it went in the book at the time, but it'll be an interesting one to come back to.
Let's see what happens here. Saka, sorry, has just given away an easy free kick to Raf Clark with the clearance. McFarlane, clean hands. Get Monagatti back in the ruck for me. Anyway.
Just such a valuable player, Peter McFarlane, to this St Mary's side, and what they missed when they lost, I think it was their first 3 games of the season. They just didn't have that target up forward. Jack Musgrove, who's still only 20-odd years old, just can't play that big-bodied forward role yet. He'll get there in a couple of years. But Peter McFarlane, he's just got some of the best hands that we've ever seen in the NTFL, and just provides such a good option for them.
Here's Sean Edwards on the approach. Will kick from about 45 out. Kick
Looks
underway.
pretty good.
Looks great off the boot. It's through. St Mary's
Great
reply. Pretty quick here at TIO Stadium. They move to 16-7, 103. Tiwi 12-6, 78. 13 minutes played in the third quarter.
It's been the story of the day, really, isn't it? You know, Tiwi Bombers strung a couple of nice goals together, look pretty good, but St Mary's have got this quick answer every time they do. Not since the very early minutes of this game have we seen the Bombers get on a run. Their momentum is getting broken all the time, and they're such a momentum team, the Tiwi Bombers. Now they have to go back, start from a centre bounce again, where they're obviously outgunned a little bit, and that's what St Mary's will just keep trying to do to them all day.
I'll just look down there. Monagatti's still on the bench having a well-earned break. So back in the middle. Umpires demanding respect in there. Raf Clark with the tap down. It's all Tiwi down at his feet though. Ball inside 50.
Oh.
Nearly the one-hander to Austin Wanamiri.
That's got to be a free there.
Umpire says play on.
Dion Mankara can count himself a little bit unlucky there. I think he got dragged down as he went to go for the ball, and that's what he's trying to say to the boundary umpire there.
And Austin Wanamiri has given away a free kick for holding the man. Should have been a free kick about 5 seconds earlier. Anyway, we're back on centre wing, and we'll have a boundary throw in.
"15 minutes gone here in the third quarter, so still time for the Bombers to just maybe couple a little back, keep it interesting in that fourth quarter. It's a very important part of the game here right now, as we see. Well, Saints had a chance to get out of trouble there, but just couldn't. Paddy Heenan puts one on the boot. I'm not sure who this one's going to.
Yeah,
Looks like it's St Mary's.
Luke Bath just dragged off it, didn't have the ball, and has earned the free kick. They're just so clean around stoppages, St Mary's, at the moment. It's definitely been the change since quarter time. Their dominance around those stoppages.
So St Mary's away here quite easily. Raf Clark, centre half forward for St Mary's, wheels around. Bit of a missed kick, could work out, but it's all Tiwi. And we're out of bounds.
Dangerous.
What's the umpire going to do here? I'll have a boundary throw in. St Mary's players looking for the deliberate. So Big Smith and Monagatti to do battle in the ruck. Ball drops a bit short. Nice tap down there from Smith. Plays into the hands of Musgrove. He looks for a free kick. Umpire says play on. Risky little handball. Here's Rioli with a snap over the shoulder. Looks pretty good to me. It's a goal. He's drilled it.
Great goal.
Beautiful goal from Shannon Rioli.
Sensational stuff there, wasn't it?
Field umpire just making sure the goal umpire's okay as she signals that for a goal.
But beautiful work here as we see Smith with the tap down to Musgrove. A lot of hustle going on here, Hodgie.
Yeah, look, Saints have been good around these stoppages. Obviously, their pressure on Tiwi when they do get the ball, but their ability to win it on the outside and do something with it has been very impressive since quarter time. So, you know, we saw just before that inside 50, the low ball inside 50 to Peter McFarlane, where William Puntatamirri obviously could clear the ball. But those high balls into Peter McFarlane, he's really, really dangerous in the air. So I think Saints will just want to get the ball into him as quick as they possibly can.
It's St Mary's by 31 points here as Tiwi look to try and score to stay in the game, but St Mary's have been so impressive.
Yeah, Mendy's been sensational today. He's been really good.
So the kick inside 50 looking for Edwards. Had an arm chop. Umpire says play on. Edwards steals the ball, drops on the ground. And we're going to have a free kick going the way of Purantatamiri for a kick.
I want to use it quickly here. They had a few players free. Probably didn't use it as fast as they would have liked. They go to a one-on-one contest here. Not the best fly that I've ever seen, and it's actually going to be a free, I think. Yep. Just didn't get really anywhere near it, did Aaron Daniels, and pays the price. Hugh McMurtry puts it into a dangerous spot. Good contest there from Jason Purantatamiri, who comes off second best.
So here's Mikey Coombs with a nice handball. Francis Kanthari misses it. Gives it back to Musgrove, back to Kanthari. Could have been taken high. Umpire says you've been pinged for a throw, buddy. So good hustle there from the Tiwi Bombers. He's down Mankara, being awarded the free kick. He heads to a 2-on-1 with Austin Wanamiri, and well done to Raf Clark, dropping back and taking that mark. So he pushes it outside. Johnny Anstez. Nice clearing ball. See if St Mary's can work this quickly like they have all day. Labastida takes the mark and drops it. Good work from Tiwi here. They moved it inside. Here's Mankara again.
Play on.
He's got the loose player out here in Purantatamiri. He could run all the way here. Winds up, gets the kick underway, and it's just off to the right. So disappointing finish there
yeah,
to
he's been
Garen
pretty good
Purantatamiri.
in front of the sticks today, Gary Purantatamiri. But, geez, what about the pressure from Mikey Coombs?
I think it's been paid down the ground, boys. Mikey Coombs maybe dealt with him a little bit late. I thought myself it looked okay. It was an amazing chase from Mikey to put the pressure on, but umpire's seen it differently, and they'll give him a free kick on a difficult angle, but it's like the right man's got the ball in his hands, and Austin Montemurri, pretty good chance here. I think he kicked one here a bit earlier today, didn't he, boys?
Yeah,
so.
he snapped one around pretty early on in the game when the Tiwi Bombers were flying. It hasn't been as pretty a picture ever since, but as he whips around here, chucks on the left boot, raises the arm in the air. He's pretty happy with it and gets some well-earned congratulations. The Bombers knowing that, well, if they want to stay in this game, they're going to have to kick a couple more. Aussie Wanamiri, that is his third of the game.
St Mary's 17-7, 109, Tiwi 13-6, 84.
So you just see Tiwi, obviously great goal, but the lead up to that, they actually found some time and space on the outside, and once they do that, they look very dangerous, and St Mary's since quarter time have done an outstanding job to close that down and not allow Tiwi Bombers to do that. So Tiwi will be trying to get more of that, play that territory or Tiwi brand of footy. As we can see, Monagatti back in the ruck, which is a good sign for Tiwi.
Zaka down at full forward as well, so they've had a bit of a role swap, and we'll see how long that starts. Ross Tungatalam with a touch, which is always good for Tiwi Bombers' hopes.
Nice little tap on there. Here's Munkara in pursuit of the ball. Musgrove does well.
Yeah, well done by both players there, just not giving up on it, and no one really could gain the ascendancy on that one. It goes in for a boundary throw-in. They're in the right zone here, the Tiwi Bombers. They just need to try and get another couple back before we hit the fourth quarter. 21 minutes gone in the third, so around about 5 or so minutes to go in this one. Violi manages to get his side out of trouble. And then Josh Heath with a fair bit of time, but didn't quite get the bounce. He was a little bit unlucky, and they'll go one-on-one here. Little bit of a push, but well done there by Michael Dunn. Hits it to space, good pickup. Paddy Heenan chucks it on the right boot in a bit of a hit and hope situation, and stayed under it nicely was Shannon Rioli, who was asking for an extra.
You're going to earn every disposal, aren't you, when Mikey Coombs is in the area? He's going to make you work for it.
So here's Edwards in the middle of the ground for St Mary's. Just holding possession here of St Mary's. Intercepted.
Yeah, nice boil there by Silvani Babui, just managing to thwart that situation because it was looking pretty dangerous. Well done by Henry Labastida, who just manages to zoom in on that ball. Could be a little bit of trouble here for the Bombers, though. There's some Mary's players everywhere. It's chucked onto the right boot. It's to a one-on-one with McFarlane. Well done there. That was Virgil Purantanamiri, who Peter McFarlane's done what he's done all day and had that first tap out to himself, and Virgil realised what was going on there and managed to stop it. Tungatalam gets his hands on the ball. Looks like he played on. He did. Has to manufacture a little chip. Doesn't do a great job of it, and St Mary's have got a 3-on-2 situation. Tunnel ball there from Nate Paredes. Smart play, Mendy. Some nice elusive play there, and he'll find Shannon Rioli, who's been getting plenty of ball here in the third quarter. Composes himself a little bit and points to the spot. Imagine he'll look for McFarlane in the square here, as they have done for most of the day. Ryan Smith is in there as well. He doesn't, though. Chips to Labastida, who is paid the mark. Not in that much of a better position. I'm not sure if Labastida will... Although he's marched him back a little bit further here. Labastida might be able to have a crack at this. Doesn't. Puts it to Shannon Rioli, who does have a crack, or at least puts it to the dangerous zone. McFarlane's up. Doesn't get enough hands on. Runs into the post.
And nearly takes it out by the look of it.
Again, probably just not enough run here from the Bombers, so they go themselves with the quick tap. They've gone to 2-on-0 to St Mary's here. Mendy cleans up nicely again. He's been sensational today. It's out to Edwards, who centres it to a 3 Tiwi players, who any of them could have taken it. So not a great effort there, but that one goes over for a throw-in. And yeah, it's definitely a tired-looking Tiwi side at the moment, Hodgie.
Yeah, and their defensive pressure and also the decision-making is affected when they're little bit tighter. Obviously, you can't play that breakneck footy. Maybe they need to just get momentum going back that way, maintain possession of the footy, maybe for the next couple of minutes.
I'd imagine that's a free against Monagatti. It is. I think it could have been an elbow or a knee in the back. And Ryan Smith a little bit ginger as he wobbles his way back. One sock down, one sock up. I love the fashion.
So here's Smith, puts the ball inside 50 to McFarlane out on the lead, tries to take it one-handed, drops the pill. Here's Tipperwoody with the clearing kick. Just bounces inside. Smith with a clever tap over to Luke Bath. Bath puts it back inside 50 for St Mary's. McFarlane stands underneath. Good spoil there. Here's Tipperwoody. He puts the ball into the middle of the ground.
Great work, John Anster has just made sure they couldn't get that quick possession, and got to play. No, we're going to bring it back. Ross Tungatalum saw himself in open space for a rare opportunity today, but it'll go back. It's a Saints free kick to Luke Bath, who does play on quickly. Heenan barely manning the mark there. Unfortunately, the kick for Luke Bath didn't go to Peter McFarlane, who put on quite a big lead out to that pocket. But no Tiwi Bombers players really moving around at the moment. A nice lead there by Monagatti, and gets paid well for his good work. So he'll go up the line here to Stazeka to do something similar, but Ralph Clark's pretty crafty in those situations. And, gets the advantage. Probably not the best play there for the Bombers.
Just simply got the more dominant position, didn't he? Got that front spot and drew the free kick.
So Clark, the long kick. Edwards flies with the fist. Smith doing some rare roving, and we're going to have a boundary throw in.
Stazaka moving into the ruck here as Monagatti comes off. Jack Munkara coming in, just settling off the main pack at the moment, looking to make an impact. Mendy with the ball in his hands again. Probably wouldn't be a player who's had more pill today than Mendy. He's got a lot of it.
He has, boys, yeah, especially inside the contest. He's been very clean around the stoppages and uses it well as well.
So Edwards with the free kick. Here as he looks to put it back into the attacking space. McFarlane stands underneath. Good body work there.
Oh, could be high.
Umpire says play on. Can't believe that one.
Well,
Anyway, here's Joshy Heath. He tries to get the clearing handball out. Tipperwoody there.
Got the numbers here, just got to compose themselves a bit.
Here's Purin Tatamiri, puts the afterburners on.
Didn't get the kick though.
Stinker of a kick. Here's Musgrove. St Mary's players tell him to move it quickly. Does so. Shannon Rioli. He weighs up his options inside 50. Kick underway. Beautiful bullet style kick from Shannon Rioli. It's like a bullet, wasn't it, Dodgy?
Yeah, outstanding kick. Obviously, Paredes just had a little bit of a more dominant position, just put it to advantage of him, and great kick. So you see Saints going forward, boys, that higher, longer kick inside to McFarlane, and plenty of numbers around his feet, which has paid off for them, obviously, since quarter time.
He's kicked one today, Nate Paredes. Kicked this one from around about 35 out by the time he makes contact. 45-degree angle, puts it onto the right boot, and he's happy with it. Puts the arm in the air, and the Saints go into the fourth quarter with a fair bit of momentum. 17-8, 110, plays 13-6, 84, and we'll be back with the fourth after this.
During a storm or cyclone, wind speeds can exceed 240 kilometers per hour, so it's important to maintain the roof and gutters of your home. Strong winds could turn a barbecue into a dangerous and destructive missile. Trees and airborne objects cause damage to property. Make sure you have trees trimmed and objects like rubbish bins, kids' toys and garden furniture stowed away and securely tied down. Be prepared. Brought to you by NTES and TIO.
Life. So full of surprises. But you don't want a headache to be one of them. Get Panadol Rapid from Chemist Warehouse. It's absorbed 2 times faster than regular Panadol tablets, so you won't miss life's special moments. Panadol Rapid. When pain is gone, life takes its place. Available at Chemist Warehouse for the lowest prices guaranteed.
She's flying down to Alice today.
Don't forget to put away the garden furniture.
Yep, got it.
And just remember the TIO weather alerts. Garden furniture!
Love you too.
She's off, but he's still got TIO. They cover you for territory weather, cyclone, storm surge, flood, hail, and they're local, so they can respond fast.
TIO? Storm staying, kids.
Yeah! Intersport, new concept store now open in Casuarina Square. Come in and check out a world-class shopping experience. Dedicated sports zones, men's performance, lifestyle, basketball. All new women's zone from running to yoga. And Intersport Kids Zone. All ages, performance footwear and apparel. Plus the new dedicated football zone. All year for all codes. For awesome service and advice, come in and see us. The all-new Intersport concept store, Casuarina Square.
Let's see. Roma, Verona?
Perhaps Barcelona.
Make your dream holiday a reality. Book your next getaway at Flight Centre with interest-free holidays and flexible repayment options.
Best in the air.
And everywhere.
Flight Centre.
Timer.
And welcome back to TIO for the final quarter here between St Mary's and Tiwi. St Mary's 117, Tiwi 84 as we're back underway. Mikey Coombs winning the clearance there. Looks for Kanthari, does well.
Nice hands by Francis Kanthari.
Umpire.
Yeah, free kick was paid. Mikey Coombs was slung after it. Looked like advantage to Kanthari. The umpires called it back, so.
Anyway, Kanthari looking for McFarlane. Beautiful lead and a beautiful kick. He's dropped it though.
Probably the easiest mark he's had today. McFarlane, he's taken a couple of good ones up above his head, but that one was on the chest and he's dropped it.
Just put the old Duke up and said, thanks, Francis. Beautiful kick, pal, and I stunk that up.
Might have been a little hand in there as well. Ball goes up. Nice shot there from our cameraman. Nice in and close. St Mary's get it back inside 50, as was the story of the third quarter. Tiwi with a chance to get away here. Nice use of the ball. Oh, not a great handball. They'll struggle to mop this one up, the Tiwi Bombers. Well done there. Luke Bath, smart handball. And, oh, well done, Dion Mankara. What can't this guy do? He's been Tiwi's best today again.
He can do everything but pick it up, Jake, as we just saw there. Here's Rioli.
Oh, man, players are plenty here for St Mary's. Tried another bullet kick attempt there from Shannon Rioli. Didn't quite come off. Mopped up there, and Tiwi will have another go through the 150 game as Shane Tipuamanameri. Not a great kick, but probably get the bounce here. They do. Plenty of time. Chip a little high. Cullen might be able to spoil and does. 2-on-1 here.
Umpire was just about to blow that one, but said, nah, play on.
Michael Dunn's done pretty well out of a tough situation there. 2-on-1 against him.
Here's Tipperwoody. Centres the ball. Nice little kick. We're over the top. Tiwi really need one here. And Adam Tipperwoody's got the ball about 25 metres out on a slight angle, Hodgie.
Both of these sides have started this last quarter with a bit of energy, boys.
Yeah.
It's obviously that third quarter, very, very drained, and we've just seen the first couple of minutes, some pretty quick play, so this will be a good start to Tiwi.
Tipperwoody with the kick underway. Umpire does not move a single inch as Tipperwoody gets the goal for Tiwi, and a much needed one to stay in the game. They move to 14-6-90. St Mary's 18-9, 117. Hodgie, what do Tiwi need to do?
Obviously they need to kick plenty more goals, Nick, but this contest here from Michael Dunn, just maintaining possession, not just blazing away, and Saints had plenty of numbers behind, so when they maintain possession of the footy, you can see they've got good decision. They make good decisions with it by feet, and obviously in this man's hand, he's always going to find someone, and Adam Tipperwoody, good finish. So they've just got to keep that energy going, Nick. The pressure on the ball carrier for St Mary's when they've got the ball, and Tiwi just take the game on and win these centre bounces.
So Monagatti and Smith do battle in the ruck. Is going to have another throw it up.
Yeah, if they can get a couple of quick ones here, Tiwi Bombers, we know how good they play when they get a bit of a roll on. It'll be about winning it in these...
I just saw Monagatti's getting reported here. He just tried to throw, it looks like a knee into Smith, like the old-fashioned corky, Hodgie, and he's been reported.
Yeah, interesting one. So St Mary's will be happy to get this free kick. Smithy looks pretty... He looks okay, not affected him, so don't think there'll be too much to answer for there.
So Adam Tipperwoody cutting that ball off for Tiwi. So he looks to move it quickly. Here's Mankara. He pushes it inside to Puran Tatamiri. He's just weighing up his options for now. Handball over the top.
Yeah, probably just wasn't quite the right option. Dale Mankara's under a fair bit of pressure, although Dale Mankara's done well to... Oh, he's had a bit of an air swing there. It's called play on. Henry Labastida does well there, centres the kick, and...
What's this for here? It's a free kick down the ground.
Yeah.
It's down the ground, was it?
Yeah, he dealt with it after the kick.
Geordie Cullen just gives it to Luke Bath here, who'll send it back over towards the scoreboard side of the ground. Hugh McMurtry takes his time. It's a nice looking kick there from McMurtry.
Smith Thompson with the kick inside.
Good mark there.
Good, beautiful grab there.
Nate Paredes.
He's had a good game today, Nate Paredes, hasn't he?
He has, yeah, very consistent around the footy, and he's been able to go forward and impact the scoreboard. So good when midfielders can do that. I think Rick Nolan would be very happy with his what he's done today, Nate Paredes.
So Paredes just sort of stabs at the ball, and it's all Tiwi Bombers back there. And Purin Tanamiri takes off, puts the afterburners on, weighing up his options. Long kick, works well. Tip and Woody.
Bit too much air on it, and Raf Clark reads it, but the bounce is nice. And Dion Mankara chucks it on the left foot and absolutely loves it. Well done, Dion Mankara, and some nice, quick Tiwi Bombers style football. That's Mankara's 4th today. And geez, just a little bit of exciting times here, fellas. Get on the edge of your seat, why won't you?
Definitely started the quarter a lot more energy, haven't they? So Jason Purintatamiri obviously won, took that mark in the back line, played on straight away. Tiwi brand of footy, Adam Tip and Woody just running forward, and good vision through the middle here, and Dion Mankara.
How's that for front and centre?
Yeah,
but that's anticipation. That's the stuff you can't really teach, isn't it? It's just knowing, you know, seeing a play ahead. He knew that that was going to be a contest, that the kick in was a little bit too high. He knew Raf Clark was going to come and punch it, and he just stood his ground. He didn't attack the contest, just stood his ground, knowing that exactly where that ball was coming. Great play by Dion Mankara. We've mentioned his name a few times today, and he's certainly doing the team proud.
So Smith with the good tap down to Luke Bath. He gets boot to ball. Musgrove inside now for St Mary's, and a good grab down
Paredes
there to Paredes.
Yeah, I think it was Paris who got his hands on the ball and just sort of spun around and chucked it into the forward 50. And Paredes is having a real impact in that forward line. Dare I say it, because I know you can't replace a player like Cameron Eilert, but he has a lot of those same characteristics as Cam Eilert, a stocky, hard-nosed footy player who's great on the ball, but then has that ability to just push forward as a small forward who has some good hands, as Paredes puts it on the right boot, and that goes through for a goal. But, you know, I know it's a big claim, you know, comparing him to one of the best that the NTFL has seen, but he certainly has a lot of those same characteristics of a Cam Eilert type player.
Yeah, he does. He can impact the game anywhere. So obviously Tiwi just need to tidy this up and not allow St Mary's to walk the ball out. Obviously, you know, it's hard for a defender when they've got delivery like that inside 50. So he's looking very dangerous. Tiwi might need to have a look at potentially changing this matchup. And as I've said that, I think he's gone off and it's got a well-end rest. But
well, I think he was only up there having a little bit of a break, to be honest, because he started in the middle.
Smith with a tap down there.
Tungatalam with a bounce. We haven't seen this much of him today, but he usually does it very well. It just slides off to the left.
He's had a quiet day.
Yeah, he's been kept very well in check.
If he can get his hands on the footy more in this last quarter, it'll be the Tiwi Bombers will be better off for it.
So Luke Bath with the fist over the top. All St Mary's at ground level. Edwards with a one-hander.
Well done by Edwards.
Went to play on, does so now.
Oh, could be in a bit of trouble, but yeah, looked around nicely as Shenrioli spears one into the pack. McFarlane almost could have been pated. It was a pretty good fly.
So here's Rioli. Just about 55 out, does a little Irish jig, gets on his motor.
Yeah, Smith up here and McFarlane way too big for the opponents, but they've done well, although it's speared out, and that's on the left foot and through for a minor score from Henry Labastida, who's a nice little complimentary piece when you've got Ryan Smith and Peter McFarlane, two pretty tall players up there.
So the kick out is straight down the throat of Smith. He plays on quickly and finds Musgrove.
A little bit too easy there for St Mary's. This will be a 5 for Jack Musgrove if he can put this through. Anytime you can raise the hand and say, I've got 5, it's always a good day at the office. So he's been pretty good today, Jack, as Hodgie mentioned earlier. He's been in some good form for the last couple of weeks. It was a fair initiation for the young bloke in those first 3 rounds without the likes of McFarlane and that. He was taking the best defender. As he strolls in here, puts it on the right boot. Doesn't seem overly happy with it, and he's not. But I think now that he's got a little bit more freedom, you know, McFarlane's usually taking that best defender now. With McFarlane taking the best defender, Jack Musgrove is a little bit more free to roam around, playing off that half-forward line.
So Babui over the top to Tip and Woody. Just need the quick goal here. Tiwi Bombers. Nice chiselling ball. Into Aaron Daniels. He moves it quickly.
Nice work by Paris there. Just some good body work.
So Paris moves it out to Mendy. He looks inboard for Raf Clark but misses the target. Mungatopi. Adam Tipperwoody just weighing up his options and a beautiful chiselling kick.
Oh, no.
To Wanameri. He drops it. 2-on-1. Here's little Joshy Heath. Mendy. Works out
great
well.
Kick, but it works out well for Paris, who does well as well. Raf Clark should handball it and does. Musgrove probably not exactly where he wanted to kick it and just needed a little bit more over. You can see McFarlane saying get it in a little bit further. The Tiwi Bombers now managing to get out of trouble here, and the bounce was important there and they didn't get it, although they've got the second one. Tipua Manamiri chucks it into the danger zone. Tiwi Bombers, smart handball there. Who was that? To Dion Mankara, who kicks it through. That's a great goal there. Dion Mankara, and I think it was Jack Mankara.
The brothers connection there. Then they were knew exactly where his brother was going. Great handball inside, and really good finish. So.
Bit of telepathy there, brother telepathy maybe.
Potentially, yeah.
But geez, that was that handball here. Tipua Manamiri does beautifully well and just gets the ball in quick, as works well for Tiwi footy. But then Mankara picks it up and then handballs it over the top of two other St Mary's players to Dion Mankara, who chucks it on that trusty left boot. And speaking of fifers, that's a five for Dion. So well done in a side that's behind by 22 points to get 5. So. Interesting last 15 minutes here.
Here's Mikey Coombs winning the clearance for St Mary's, looking for McFarlane. He does well. Umpire says play on. Kantari does a nice little dance. The kick's not the best, and it's through for a rush behind, Hodgie.
If Peter McFarlane doesn't take the mark all day today, it's been Henry Labastida that's been at his feet. He's been pretty impressive in that forward line with his pressure and also that ability to get front and centre and win the footy.
He's down Mankara. As Jake just said, he's had an absolutely...
He's absolutely everywhere. He just kicks out a goal out. He's back in the back line. Look, there's 2 of him.
Mungatopi. Good grab there from Raf Clark.
Doing what Raf Clark does best, just hitting those contests and the intercept marks. He does so well.
So Raf Clark weighing up his options. Heads long down the line. Good mark there to Musgrove. He moves on quickly. Where's McFarlane? Beautiful chiselling kick, but he drops the mark. Tiwi with the numbers.
He's no messing around.
Ball
from
gets kicked away. Tangatalam with a bit of a header.
Well done.
And they're away here.
Plenty of space here. Bounce important. It's not great, but it's still plenty of time for Adam Tipperwoody, who centres it in to Paddy Heenan, who puts the jukes out. Great grab. He's not messing around either. It's a pretty high chip. And that's Mankara there, who will have a chance to be rewarded for his great handball a little earlier on. Just over 45-degree angle, about 35 out.
Hodgie, it's currently 23 points. This to get them back to 17. Are they a chance if he kicks this?
Yeah, potentially. They're hanging around, aren't they? They just seem to be kicking goals a little bit easier this quarter than what they were in the last. So
Mankara. Kick underway. Does it hold the line?
I think it's got post.
Just hit the post.
Yeah, it sort of had post written on it from the boot, didn't it? Just wasn't quite enough. Those misses can hurt at this stage of the game, although St Mary's...
Well, hold on, we're out on the full here. Austin Wanamiri gets the ball quickly, weighing up his options. He just goes, no, I'm going to go back and just absolutely dob this. Oh, no, I think I've just commentated, cursed him, Hodgie. I'll leave that up to you, mate.
He's you can see him looking infield a fair bit, Wanamiri. I don't think he wants to do it, but he's going to now, by the looks of it.
Austin Wanamiri.
Doesn't look like it's got enough bend on it, and the pack's risen and it's just gone through. 4 minus score. I think that's Iggy Vallejo down there. He might have copped one in the melon. St Mary's players galore here. as they try and get out. It wasn't a great kick out, but nonetheless.
So Tungatulum, he's got the ball turned. Ball has been turned over.
Pretty lazy there by St Mary's. You know, they had plenty of numbers there and just didn't quite put the head down and do the work they needed to do.
Roy Farmer with the kick underway.
It's a big roost. The arms are up. Roy Farmer. Great kick there. How good was that?
Unbelievable from big Roy Farmer. He's done well. He's jogging back now. Back to the back line. He's done well. Tiwi staying in this one. They're only down by 15 points now. 15 minutes played in the final quarter.
Great skills here from Ross Tungatulum to find this target, and obviously just very smart the way they use the ball and give themselves every opportunity to win this game at the moment. You would have thought halfway through the third quarter that Tiwi with the side running out of legs and St Mary's would go on with it. Well, it's been the absolute opposite, hasn't it?
Maybe they've learned a couple of lessons from last week. Obviously, they got run down in a big way from Nightcliff. They were about 4 goals up into the fourth and then got run down by the Tigers. Maybe they've learned a little bit from that. It's certainly well poised for the final 10 minutes or so of the game. It's a good out by St Mary's.
Here's Francis Kanthari. The excitement machine gets the kick underway, and it's just off to the left. So St Mary's getting a minor score there. They move to 19 at 13, 127. Tiwi 79, 111. Just a 16-point margin now. Still plenty of time for Tiwi if they get on their motor pretty quick.
Yeah, if they can get another major on the board in the next sort of 4 or 5 minutes, it just adds that little bit of tension and panic for St Mary's as well. So it's going to be pretty important to get another quick score. If they can do that, then it really sets this game up for an exciting finish.
So we've got a boundary throw in the half-forward flank for St Mary's. Tiwi get the next, you just feel they're just going to bust it open and get right back in it as Monagatti goes over his head. Little handball over the top. Here's Mikey Coombs. But Farmer cuts that one off. But Tiwi, he goes the old-fashioned torpedo. Shannon Rioli there. Doesn't quite sit for him. He knocks it back. Dunn could have been in the back. Is. So Tiwi with a bit of momentum here.
How's the one-step barrel? Barrel.
And I didn't see a lot of reason for it.
It was a switch kick barrel.
He's done, puts it back inside 50. Tipperwoody stands underneath.
Oh, geez, he almost got his hands there too.
Rioli does well to get the shepherd on. And that is deliberate every single day of the week. What's the umpire going to do here? Nah, throw it in, pal.
Well, it's just been the contact that made it go off to that boundary. It might have given a bit of benefit of the doubt.
So boundary throw in on the forward flank for Tiwi. The ruckmen put their hands up to nominate that they are in fact in the ruck. So Aaron Daniels for Tiwi up against the massive Smith.
Well, it's just popped out the back there. Tiwi with an opportunity. Is that Farmer or no?
Rioli getting a quick kick. Beautiful work there from Mungatopi. Just staying in the contest.
Around there, isn't he, Mungatopi? Keeping the Tiwi Bombers in it. There he is again.
When it goes through Dunn's hands, Josh Heath with
Somebody's just got to pick it up here. It's the Bombers who have a chance to get away. They're streaking downfield. They know how important this is. Bounce is important here. Paddy Heenan gets it. He's used it pretty well today. That's a little bit high.
Here's Tipperwoody.
Well done by Starzik there to just keep there because St Mary's were away there.
Yeah, that contest on the other side there. I can't remember who it was, but it was a 2-on-1, 2-on-5, I think it was. St Mary's
kept
players,
his feet.
and just held the ball in, and Tiwi got it forward. So well done.
So here's Edwards, just pops it out to Mendy. Kick underway towards McFarlane. He slaps it over the back. Here's Francis Kanthari. Can he get on the end of it? He gets a push in the back. Umpire says he'll go back.
Didn't seem a lot in that one compared to the one that was down the ground, but they'll certainly take it. St Mary's and a chance here to probably put the game away with maximum 5 to 8 minutes left on the clock. Doesn't go to hand. Big roost out there from the Bombers to absolutely no one. Luke Barth has all the time in the world. He'll centre it to Raph Clark, who'll patrol back, have a look around. No real rush for him. Ryan Smith's got his hands up, but he goes short to Edwards.
They got players out everywhere, St Mary's.
Jack Musgrove sitting all by himself, but wasn't used. Edwards might fancy himself here. Certainly setting up like he does, but sends it out to the right. That's Barth again, who chucks it on the left boot. It's a bit of a wobbler.
It's going to work.
A wobbler straight to Jack Musgrove, who seems to do a really good job at getting on the end of wobblers or balls that go to ground. He's had a good game today, being in the right place at the right time. He's got 4 goals or 5 goals at the moment, and could go back and kick another one here and pretty much seal the game for the green and gold.
Yeah, just the last couple of minutes, boys, Saints have been able to maintain possession of the footy and just try and swing that momentum back their way and just slow the speed of the game down, which is really smart. And obviously now it's provided this opportunity to put the game away.
As Musgrove gets a kick underway, and he's got his 6th here at TIO and celebrates and comes off for a well-earned rest. St Mary's 20-13, 133. Tiwi 17-9, 111. It's St Mary's by 22 points.
Just been able to maintain this this margin, haven't they?
Yeah.
As good as Tiwi have looked at times and been able to score quite easily, Saints go back the other end and answer it and keep that margin there. So they've been outstanding today. St Mary's, Tiwi definitely the dominant side in that first quarter, but after quarter time it's been all Saints, and their ability to be able to defend and slow down Tiwi has been very impressive.
A good tap from there from Monagatti. You can see we get a quick reply here. Good defence. Oh, here's Munkara, is it? It is.
Likes it.
Munkara dobs that one, so just keeps him in there with a hope. Tiwi Islands, they move to 18-9, 117. St Mary's 20-13, 133. Back to a 16-point margin, Hodgie.
Yeah, we know how quickly they can score, but you know, today St Mary's have had the answer. Tiwi kick one and then Saints go back and kick one the other end. So it'd be important for Tiwi to put back-to-back goals here just to get that little bit of a sniff and an opportunity that they might give themselves a chance to win the game.
They will like the fact that we've had sort of 28-minute quarters for most of the
still plenty of
the
time,
game,
isn't there?
so there is plenty of time on the clock.
Munkara, that was his 3rd. He's had the other Jack Munkara. He's had an exceptional game as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's one of my favourite players in the league by far.
So Monagatti with a tap, straight down the throat of Mendy.
Yeah, pretty crucial win there for St Mary's, managing to get that centre bounce. And although nicely worked there by Brad Palapamini, who plays a bit of tunnel ball between the legs. Shannon Rioli cleans up, and he'll use his experience, take 3 or 4 bounces, maybe even a 5th, and then centres it in. McFarlane under that one, tried to keep the hand out as he has done all day today. Doesn't, but Francis Kinthari does. One of the least exciting celebrations I've seen for a great snap goal, fellas. I didn't think that he'd got it, but no, he's pretty happy with that one, and nice clean up there from Francis.
Great contest here from Peter McFarlane, just brought it to ground, and it was to ground advantage to Francis Kinthari, a very smart player. And just got to say, boys, Shannon Rioli, joint captain of the St Mary's Footy Club and NT Thunder captain, has been outstanding this last quarter. He's really played a captain's quarter. Of watched him transition back. He's got back and helped his teammates out, and he's worked hard going forward as well. So an outstanding game for the joint skipper.
Back to a 22-point margin here. St Mary's in control. Monagatti with the tap. Tiwi with the clearance. Raph Clark drops the mark. Here's Tip and Woody in pursuit with Rioli. Good pressure here from Tiwi. Between these Tip and Woody with a nice snap over the shoulder, but it's just off to the left.
It's that forward pressure they've probably been missing a little bit today. That was pretty nice from the Bombers.
So Labastida with the kick out. Finds Mendy.
Plenty of options here for Saints. They're out if they can get it going quickly here.
Luke Barth just saying to the troops, let's calm it down. Mikey Coombs, he's not slowing down at all. He plays on quite quickly. Coombs receives it back. Heads inside 50. Beautiful kick.
Just a beautiful sequence of play there from St Mary's, really. You know, started with, as it centred into the big Saw Smith, who go back and kick it, Ryan, and he will. Oh, no, he won't. Ryan Smith will go back down and kick it, but beautiful there from St Mary's. Started with Iggy Vallejo, smart kick into Mendy, and then just utilising that grandstand side of the field beautifully.
We've seen some disappointing celebrations after goals today, boys, but Ryan Smith is probably up there with the best of them for a celebration, so if he kicks this, it'll be very exciting to see.
Well, he puts it on the right boot.
And he's let me down.
I'm not sure if it is a goal. Come on, Ryan, you've let us down. Andrew Hodges has talked you up and he just meanders back to the centre square like I do this every day of the week, fellas.
Yeah, it just made me look totally silly. The old fist pump. He normally gives me a fair bit, but not today. It's a 2 o'clock game. It's been pretty hot out there.
He's pretty knackered.
If it was in the first quarter, it might have been a different story, but late in the game, obviously, 25 minutes gone, you'd think St Mary's are pretty safe, but they've been pretty impressive. Ryan has been amazing in the ruck all day. Giving them first use and their clearances has really helped them dominate the game after quarter time.
So back in the middle, Smith with a nice tap. Although there's a free kick.
Take a free as well.
Going the way of Smith. He moves it on quickly. He plays on the big unit. Puts
Confidence is up.
Inside 50. Here's McFarlane under the ball. Takes a mark.
Confidence. Doesn't get much more confident under the searing in ball than Peter McFarlane. He's done what he does best and has done for a long time. He'll go back and look to kick goal number 6 for the day. Just another day out for the St Mary's legend after kicking, well, he's averaging 6 goals a game at the moment, so if he can do this, he'll keep that record up. So McFarlane about 35 metres out when boot comes to ball. That one looks like it's gone to the right, but the way celebrations have gone today, we'll never know. That one is through for a minor score. There to St Mary's.
Out of bounds on the full. Jake, he's missed absolutely everything.
He's absolutely shanked it.
Normally
Gave him a bit too much credit there, McFarlane.
Normally a very good shot for goal, so.
So the ball moved out side now. And there we have it here at TIO Stadium. It was St Mary's from the second quarter, 22-13, 145 to Tiwi Island, 18-10, 118. Hodgie, St Mary's impressive after that first quarter, weren't they?
Yeah, look, obviously didn't play their best footy in that first quarter, but definitely fixed some things up. Their communication seemed to be better at the stoppages, and they defended a lot harder and didn't allow Tiwi to get that quick run and easy shots on goal.
Yeah, 250 points scored today too, plus. So always a good game and an entertaining game when you can get 250 points scored in a game of footy. But that's it today. 22-13, 145 to St Mary's to 18-10, 118 Tiwi Bombers.